of this game. Portugal on the brink of elimination. Can they do something here? It's Cristiano Ronaldo. Oh, it's a great cross! USA denied right at the death.
My heart sank to my stomach. It just sank so low to my stomach, and it's so hard when you're so patriotic and have so much pride behind the USA team that we just want them to go all the way so far, and we want them to win. And the World Cup's ours this year. It's ours.
And when the opportunity finally came around, it was nice to see him come through and take the lead late. And obviously giving it away at the end was a heartbreaker. But the good news is we still have one more game, and we have a good chance to make it through. So I'm really confident.
I believe that we can win. If anyone doubted us now, after this game, no one should doubt the USA. We can go all the way. Germany, watch out. We're coming for you on Thursday. Asife, watch out. We're going to go all the way.
Well, the Americans will be lucky that Recife, that's where the game will be played, not El Salvador, where Giants are swinging. Okay, well, the Americans are yet to win 2 World Cup games in a row, and that was since 1930. That was the last time they actually won 2 World Cup games in a row. This is Channels Television, broadcasting live from Lagos. I'm Cecilia Amagbe, and you're watching Sports This Morning. First, the headlines. The Eagles may be on the rise, but coach Stephen Keshi believes the best is yet to come. And Algeria ended a run of 7 World Cup matches without a win, scoring more goals in this particular game last night against South Korea than they did in all their previous appearances. And also on the program, Andy Murray, of course, after winning 2 Grand Slams, he feels that he's still very nervous whenever he's preparing for a major tournament. And Formula One, it's all about the Mercedes this season as Nico Roseburg claimed the Austrian Grand Prix. Well, all these and more after this break. Good morning, and of course I have my guest in the house. Welcome back.
Yeah, great to be here. What a day to make a comeback, you know.
Okay, because Super Eagles won on Saturday night.
Great weekend for Africa generally.
Okay.
I must say, it's brilliant. I mean, a few days ago, we thought Ivory Coast were going to be the only representatives from Africa, you know,
in the second round,
in the round of 16, and now we could have as many as 4. You know,
okay, wait, okay, as many as 4. Now name them. Nigeria, definitely number 1.
We could have Nigeria.
Okay.
I mentioned Ivory Coast earlier.
Okay.
Algeria had a stunning game yesterday, giving themselves a brilliant chance. And judging by the performance of Ghana against Germany, who knows? You know.
They have 1 point, remember? Yeah. What? It's a dicey one. Anyway. But let's start from the home stretch, of course, from the Super Eagles. Of course, Coach Stephen Keshi, after the game, after the review of everything that happened on Saturday night, he said the Super Eagles are on, he said, their best is yet to come. Everyone is saying that they're actually on the rise after their performance against Iran. But for Coach Stephen Keshi, he believes the players still have a lot to give. They're still not playing to their best. What do you think about his statement?
Yeah, I believe he's right in an aspect. We've not really had that cohesion we should have. Technically, we've been found wanting. Really, against the top sides, we're going to get punished if we keep getting careless. If we keep being careless on the ball. You know, we saw the midfield partnership of Mikel and Onazi is still a little bit shaky. I believe they have potential, but against the top teams, you can't keep trying the same thing and making the same mistakes. We saw Onazi trying to spread play, but he wasn't getting it right. Keshi needs to tell him to keep it simple. You know, we need to just keep it simple. Don't try to force the issue. You know, in defense as well, we don't move together as a unit. That's why Bosnia caught us a little bit on the count, caught our offside trap. Well, in attack, I feel that's where we have the strongest potential. But I'm not a fan of Ahmed Musa, really. I believe he has been below par, and I think Keshi needs to do something about our right side.
Yeah, you believe if he had to work on this particular department, you talked about the defense, of course, the midfield and even the attack or from the wings, then that means they can play to their full potentials.
Yeah, I believe so. We have good players. We have great players. With the likes of Omeru, Vincent Inyama. They've been consistent in the last few years. Onazi too has shone like a million stars in the last few years. But we still need that little bit of composure, you know, and technical quality.
What do you think about Mikel Obino in the middle of the pack? Maybe should he improve on what he's doing?
He certainly has to. This is his first World Cup. We must cut him some slack, really. He doesn't really have experience at this level. He has not played so many games this year as well. We need to give him some time. Hopefully, like what we saw in South Africa last year, he'll grow into the competition and he'll become more influential as we progress, hopefully.
Okay, as we progress a lot. Next game definitely is going to be against Argentina. Well, that might be a tough one. What are you expecting from that game?
The Argentina game.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe we need to go in there with a with the mindset of winning. Really, you don't want to play France, do you? At the second round, yeah. You want to go as far as you can. So it's not impossible to beat Argentina. We saw what Iran. We saw the tactics they used on Saturday. They were quite defensive, but they still made sure anytime they got the ball in the final third, they were productive with it. We have the players who can hurt them. We saw what Menike absolutely ran Spahi ragged. Yeah, he ran the whole Bosnia defense ragged, not just Spahi. I believe he could do the same against Argentina. Their defense is really is not as
strong,
as solid as it should be. We could certainly exploit them, especially through the middle.
Okay, we'll keep our fingers crossed, exploring them through the window. Exploiting them, you said, through the window. That's what is important. Okay, taking a look at the results, what happened last night. Of course, it was really the game that everyone felt wasn't going to produce the numbers of goals was actually the ones that produced the most goals. Last night, we have South Korea and Algeria. Algeria beating South Korea by 4-2.
Terrific.
And of course, the first game between Belgium and Russia, it was just a 19-year-old boy who scored that goal for Belgium to ensure that they picked a spot in the last 16. They've already qualified. For Algeria and South Korea, well, Algeria, of course, they are in a pole position to qualify, and USA and Portugal. Now, that was the game of last night. Now, in this particular Group G, you now have Portugal on 4 points, the Germans on 4 points, the Americans, the Americans on 4 points, the Germans on 4 points, Portugal 1 point, and Ghana, 1 point.
Yeah, it's going down to the wire. I can't stick my neck out to say these two sides are going to be in the round of 16. It's really open. Hopefully, Ghana could get a result against Portugal, and
that depending on what you have between US and Germany.
Hope that the results go in their favor in the other game. But it's a terrific group. We saw a brilliant 2-2 draw on Saturday involving Ghana and Germany, and the other two opponents playing, getting the same scoreline. And it just shows how competitive this World Cup has been. It's been fantastic. It's had everything really, Cecilia.
This is actually what you had. The pictures you have on your screen is actually the Algerian fans celebrating their 4-2 victory. Now you will say it was a massive one for them. Look at Algeria coming into the World Cup since 1982. They've been qualifying, 7 appearances they've made, and of course the goals they scored yesterday was much more than what they've been doing in most of the appearances.
Yeah, actually the first African side to score as many as 4 goals.
In a single
match.
Yeah,
in a single game. We saw Senegal score 3 in 2002 against Uruguay. But it's a brilliant achievement for them. It's interesting to think about it when you cast your minds back to about 4 years ago when the Algerian team was in disarray. I mean, if you had told them they would make it to Brazil, they wouldn't have.
They wouldn't believe it.
No, and now it's great to see. You know, you're representing North Africa well. You know, we all were sad when Egypt couldn't make it.
Could not qualify, but at least the Algerians are doing fantastic.
They've represented that North Africans really well. It's been impressive so far.
Well, the celebrations definitely continues for them, and hopefully we get to see Nigerian fans celebrating after the game against Argentina. That's the hope, of course. And let's take a look at the matches that will be decided today. It's definitely going to be a big one. Between Brazil and, of course, Cameroon. That's the game everyone is really looking forward to, because just on Saturday night, this is a big head tussle. The big head. That's the name actually predicted. It's going to be a draw between Brazil and Cameroon. Where the fixtures for today, you have Group B, you have Australia and Spain. When the Spanish side really want to take something home after losing their 2 opening games for the first time for defending champions.
Tournament so far.
And Netherlands and Chile, of course. Chile and Netherlands yet to lose a game in their first group matches, of course. Going for the top spot. That's what that game will be. And in Group A, you have Cameroon and Brazil and Croatia and Mexico. Now, Group A, of course, so much to decide. But Group B, everything's all over. Netherlands and Chile definitely booking their spot in the last 16. But for Group A, Cameroon, Brazil, Croatia, Mexico, well, for
Mexico game is going to be
Croatia, they still have a chance. Only Cameroon are out of the tournament, even if they beat Brazil. Yeah. But Brazil definitely not make it.
Yeah, certainly. But the Croatia-Mexico game, I'm looking out for that. Good attacking sides. We saw what Croatia did to Cameroon. They were at their full potential. You know, they absolutely destroyed the Cameroonian defense, and we saw how good Mexico were defensively as well against Brazil. So it's
going to be a tight match.
Yeah, it's nicely poised.
Now, take a look at Cameroon and Brazil. What do you say in that game?
Well, Cameroon want to leave the competition on a high. It's been a World Cup to forget. You know, we've had problems both on the field and off the field. Someone to might not actually make it in time for the game. And
well, it's in 2018 Russia.
Yeah. It's going to be what, by then, 40, 42?
What is real age? Maureen should tell us, because we really don't know it yet right now.
Well, Brazil want to close this out. Want to try and get the win to top the group. You know, certainly they're the host. The expectations are really high. You know, you want to go into the second round in really high spirits.
Okay, you saw one man on your screen. I mean, Neymar, of course, he's the star man for this whole tournament. Now, what are we expecting from him? Still going to play the same role he's playing? We're expecting more goals from him?
Yeah, I believe he will try and use this game to get a couple of goals, try and top chart entry into the second round. I just spoke about how important it is how important confidence is heading into the knockout phases, and I believe he's going to play the same role, the same free role, and try to get a couple of goals, as well as Oscar and Fred as well. I don't think Scolari is going to rest any player.
Is Fred going to start?
I believe he's going to start. The job is not yet done for Brazil. You know that.
Yes.
If they had won the Mexico game, well, Scolari might have decided to take the foot off the pedal, but you can't leave anything to chance.
So he's definitely going to play his full squad today against the Cameroonians.
I believe
Cameroonians are in trouble. They might just end this tournament without winning a single game. Really not a good one for them after getting to the quarterfinals way back in 1994. That was when Roger Milla, of course, was really the star man at that time. But right now, the Cameroonians...
1990 as well.
1990, of course, Italian 90, remember. Exactly. That was the last time they actually had super performance at the World Cup. Since then, well, they've not really been able to do anything at all whenever they qualify for FIFA's biggest tournament. Okay, we'll we'll end the segment here, of course. After this short break, we'll take a look at what is happening in Lagos. That's the big one, the International Table Tennis Federation, where the Lagos World Tour, they are already in Lagos. It's starting today, preliminary stages. And of course, press conference was held yesterday for the draws. You have top seeds for the tournament. And of course, you have the president from Africa, an African president, actually saying that what inspired the world body to give Nigeria the host for this Lagos Open, that is the World Tour, to be part of the ITTF, is simply because of the performance last year at the Lagos International Table Tennis Classics.